All right, in this video we are going to take a look at setting up the data model. So I've got it up on the screen there, still got a little Woody there. That picture is almost a month old and that little puppy has grown like a weed. But I want to review the requirements for what we have here. And just looking through this, we have the login stuff. That's going to be handled all by the JHipster security model, so we're good there. So we're going to need to track run locations and a schedule of runs. And we also want to be generating that unique code for runners to sign into a run. So we need a couple data elements there. And let's take a look at the rest of the requirements. That's all handled by the security framework, the different security roles, so that's already established. Now we have admin users. I'm just scanning through this. Really no database requirements there. And here, let's see your password, change email, home location. So that's something that I'm going to need to add to the data model. And let's see here, each location will show a leaderboard of users. That is more of a report. 10 login attempts, that is something that the system will lock out. So that's functionality built into the security framework. Let's see here, these are all requirements. So just want to make sure I'm just reviewing everything, making sure that the data model. So basically we need a location. So we're going to be tracking location, when the runs are, and users obviously, and running events. So let's go in. I'm going to switch over to the JDL studio now. Let's bring this up. And I think I'm pretty close to the requirements. So I'm using the abbreviation RFB, and that stands for running for brews. So I have an RFB location, a location name, and then run day of week. And that indicates what day of the week that the runs are. So the way the RFB organization is, most of the locations that they run at is a weekly run. I do not know of any locations that have more than once a week from a single location. They're generally just one time a week. So we're going to be keying off the run day of week there. And we're just going to set an integer 1 through 7. And if I remember right, the Java day of week API starts on a Monday using number 1 for Monday and going 7 to Sunday. I think that's an ISO standard if I remember correctly. I did look this up. Now we're going to have the RFB event. So this is where we're going to track that event code. So the first table establishes the location of where the run is at. So that's a running for brews location. So that's what that entity is doing. And now the running for brews event, that is going to be a running event. So we don't really need a description there. We're not going to be displaying it on the screen or anything like that. But we can take the event code, and this is going to be something we'll set up a spring scheduled job to run once a day and go out and take the RFB locations that have an event that day, and we'll create the RFB event codes. Now, what we want to track is the event attendance, and this will give us a date of their attendance an RFB event. So that's going to have a relationship to the event, and it's also going to have a one-to-one relationship to an RFB user. And we can see here that we've established a one-to-many, and this is the mapping that we work with inside of JDL Studio. And the JDL Studio, using the JHipster domain language, is going to generate the entities for us. So we already covered what it's doing here. And I'm passing in a couple options here. So we're establishing the relationship. So see, our RFB location has many events. An RFB event is going to have many event attendances. And then each event attendance, that's going to be an attendance record, and an attribute of that attendance record is going to be a RFB user. Now I've set up a couple options here. So the DTO with map struct, and also a service. So we're going to do a service implementation, and then pagination on it. I think we could, with the location event, we'll use regular pagination. Then event attendance, we're going to try out the infinite scroll option, see how that looks. Now, the one relationship that I missed, if I come back over here and take a look at the requirements, the one thing that we want to do is look at the functional requirements here. And we do have where a user can set a home location. So we're going to have an attribute of the user to have a location value on it. And I did not have that. So if I come back over here, we're going to have a one-to-one. And you can see here in the gutter that it's highlighted red. That's because I have a syntax error because I missed this comma here. So now you can see that I've added in that attribute, and that's going to be the home location. So that completes that one little requirement that I missed before. So the RFB user will have a one-to-one to the RFB location as its home location. Now I'm going to stop the video here. In the next video, we're going to look at taking the JDL syntax here like we did before, and we'll actually generate the entities and take a look at the resulting entities that will get added into the project.